It was back in late December when Lee first warned friends on WeChat about a SARS-like disease going around. Lee sent a group message saying that a test result from a patient quarantined at the hospital where he worked showed a patient had a coronavirus. But hours after hitting send, Wuhan city health officials tracked Lee down, questioning where he got the information. But instead of being praised, Lee got a call from Wuhan City Police. He agreed to sign this document, admitting to spreading rumors online and severely disrupting social order. It reads, "We want you to cooperate with the police and listen to our reminder and stop the illegal act. Can you do that?" Lee answered, "Yes, I can." In the weeks that followed, the Wuhan Municipal Health Commission maintained that there was no obvious evidence for human-to-human transmission, no infection of healthcare workers, and that the outbreak was, in their words, preventable and controllable. And with that, the people of Wuhan continued about their normal lives.
1号傍晚，武汉市公安局官方微博发布消息称，关于当前武汉市肺炎疫情的情况，8名散布谣言者被依法查处。通报称，近期我市部分医疗机构发现接诊了多例肺炎病例，市卫健委就此发布了情况通报。但一些网民在不经核实的情况下，在网络上发布、转发不实信息，造成不良社会影响。公安机关经调查核实，已经传唤8名违法人员，并依法进行了处理。同时，警方提示，网络不是法外之地，在网上发布信息言论应遵守法律法规。对于编造、传播、散布谣言、扰乱社会秩序的违法行为，警方将依法查处，绝不姑息。希望广大网民遵守相关法律法规，不造谣、不信谣、不传谣，共建和谐清朗的网络空间。
All right, so what is next for this project, and what is next for you, Danny?
Well, next for this project, I think would be, of course, the Amsterdam premiere is coming up.
In January,
so
right?
That is January 18th. So,
January.
So it was January 18th. My documentary premiered in Amsterdam.
Filmmaker Danny Wu onderzoekt de zaak.
Het is 8:08. Mag ik een groot applaus voor Taj Jackson en Danny Wu in the house.
The premiere was amazing. It went incredible.
What do you think if your uncle was sitting next to you? What would he have thought of the film?
He would have loved it. He would have loved it.
I think that for a lot of people who watch Square One, they do change their minds.
The other people have to know who Danny Wu is. You're the director of Square One, MJ.
Yes, I'm Danny Wu. I'm a filmmaker. I produce Square One.
We have another question saying, Jean, Danny, what is your background? Where are you from? To cover that topic as well.
My background, I'm Chinese, and I was born in Chengdu, China.
And, you know, I just thought that to pause the tour for a second, I would, for the first year of my life, fly back to China and celebrate Chinese New Year with my family. When I flew back to China, you know, things started changing day by day. The first day that I got back, you know, everything was normal. I was very, very excited to see my family again. I haven't seen them since the tour started. You know, no one was really talking about no viruses or anything like that. We all went for dinner that night. And, you know, for the next couple of days, you know, people started talking about something. But I would say that even then, there was still a lot of skepticism about whether, you know, if this was truly as bad as they made it out to be. I remember just thinking that, you know, it's just a phase, that it's going to pass over in a couple days. What's up, everyone? So we are in China currently. You know, I've always wanted to make a video like this because, you know, it's a day in China. That's what I always wanted to do. So I was about to take you guys into where the temple was, but as you can see around me, because of the coronavirus, it's very, very empty. It's kind of crazy how empty it is, because if you come in here with me, usually this is where the temples are, and you know, there will be snacks, vendors all on these streets, and it'd be very crowded usually, but because they don't want large public gatherings, everything's been now closed off.
Hi, I'm Danny, and I'm in Chengdu with
Florian
and
Suzanne.
So there's a epidemic going on in China right now. How do you guys feel about that and coming outside? Do you feel safe?
I feel perfectly safe. The only pity is the entire panic around it. I think people are getting very, very uncomfortable, and it's yeah, that's, for me, that's the biggest part.
It's a pity that all the attractions are closed. I mean, there are not so many people around that I think it's really dangerous. So,
how would you describe Chengdu as a city?
Ooh, I would describe it as very livable. I liked every bit of the city, especially traveling to other parts of China. I came to appreciate what Chengdu has, but I think it's quite a modern, livable city.
How have you adjusted to the food in Chengdu?
Quite well, honestly. Eating spicy, I've been growing accustomed to that, that's for sure. I'm pretty well. I moved from Bula to Weila, so I think I'm going to go ahead, yeah.
And being from the West, there's obviously a lot of misconceptions about China. Did you have any of those coming here, and were they correct?
Well, what comes into my mind at first is always like the bargaining, maybe. I've always been told, oh, you gotta watch out, you gotta bargain with people, you gotta make sure they don't overcharge you or anything. Outside of the touristy areas, I've never bargained for anything, and I just paid the normal price, and I paid like the price that all the Chinese people pay with my Alipay, so no problems with that. Other than that, oof. Well, about the taking pictures, maybe it's a curious thing, because they've always taught me, oh, they're gonna want to take pictures with you, but not a lot of pictures have been taken of me. Me posing with all Chinese people, I thought that would have been really fun,
yeah,
but
I'd be like a celebrity over here.
Yeah, but I'm not. You know, it hurts. You know, I'm just the average Joe. That's what it is.
But we begin tonight with the growing concern as the toll from that deadly coronavirus now grows. And in the city of Wuhan, where the outbreak began, patients now in isolation, all trains and planes out of that city halted just tonight.
I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern over the global outbreak of novel coronavirus.
Internationally, the death toll stands at 170, with more than 7,000 people infected across the globe.
Built in just 10 days, a 1,000-bed pop-up hospital at the center of the coronavirus outbreak, now accepting its first patients. China reportedly running low on medical supplies and test kits, with nearly 20,000 confirmed cases, 428 known fatalities.
When Wuhan, as a city, shut down as a whole, you know, definitely it alerted a lot of people. Day by day, the conditions of the entire city, country just started getting worse and worse. We're seeing that Americans are getting flown back.
Meanwhile, the government is planning another airlift to bring 1,000 Americans home to 4 military bases for quarantine.
It's mandatory now to wear a face mask when you go out. Everywhere that you go now, mandatory temperature checks, was just that's unprecedented. First, to have a city shut down, and to, you know, enforce a lockdown that deeply. You know, they're definitely not making a joke out of this, and I feel that they're doing all they can to contain the virus. It's also kind of worrisome to see that, you know, back home people are talking about xenophobia, and, you know, people are being racist against Chinese people. Everyone is just paranoid, and no one knows what to make out of it. You know, throughout all of this, I think that some people's true colors are definitely showing. I mean, people always had a hard time differentiating from China the state, and China the culture, and China the citizens. And, you know, they kind of just loop everything into one, and, you know, the citizens kind of become the scapegoats for people to attack over the years. And I think that's definitely the case right now, and I think it's really unfair. You know, if you're on the street these days, you can see that people are very, very protective, and there are definitely real people suffering.
This outbreak has also gotten people extremely paranoid into thinking that they have the virus themselves. And hospital lineups these days are just out of the world. You know, when people just have a common cold 99.9% of the time. This also has made face masks almost a luxury. You know, people are only allowed to buy 2 at a time.
But overall, this experience has just been insane. I've never seen a country, you know, in this state before. When you go on the street these days, people are just face masks everywhere. It almost feels like an apocalypse. And I'm very blessed to spend this time with my family. And I thought it'd be great to kind of just document this whole experience, because like, when are you gonna see something like this again and be in the spot?
By the end of January, Dr. Lee posted this picture with the words, "finally diagnosed." He had the virus. While Stephanie Hegarty from BBC World Service has been looking into more details in his case.
He's still in isolation and he's in ICU, but he's able to text and he's been able to post on social media. Definitely not out of the woods, but he's doing okay.
And have there been sanctions for him sharing his diagnosis?
Well, the strange thing is that he's clearly had the confidence to share this story towards the end of January, and that may be because though he was disciplined by the local police, the central authority in Beijing then criticized the police for that move, so that appears to have given him the confidence to then start sharing his story.
It's my first time in a car in like over 2 weeks. But what are we doing today? Why are we in that car? I don't know why I'm here.
I went back to work this morning and then I came back. I see Mom sends me this message and she said she ordered coffee, but instead she ordered like the wrong place and they don't deliver, so we have to go pick it up, and then it's pretty far.
Oh my gosh.
It's like 8.8 kilometers.
Why don't we just get coffee somewhere else?
Well, she paid already.
I mean, it's just a coffee though.
It's Starbucks, so it's expensive.
Yeah, it's the Chinese mentality.
Yeah, so every time we go out, we have to take this ticket.
Yeah.
So 2 people and 2 tickets.
So 2 tickets. So we can't bring a 3rd person in? Yeah. Everyone's still wearing. Oh, that guy on the street's not wearing a face mask. So technically I can report him. Oh, but he has the face mask down. My flight is canceled, did you hear?
So did you have like a... Really?
Yeah, March 5th, it's canceled.
Oh.
So I'm here indefinitely. Would you want to leave if you had the chance?
Like right now?
Yeah.
No.
Why is that?
It's more dangerous to be on the flight.
Yeah,
or
that's
like a
true.
cruise.
Yeah, that's true.
Why would I risk that, right?
Well, it's sunny today though.
That's pretty sunny. Well, it's Monday too.
What does it have to do with anything?
Well, Monday usually people go back to work. Like when company has like meeting and stuff.
But why does that contribute to the sun?
When I see it, I feel like every community and then they're actually acting really fast and responsive on this kind of issue. Like it's, you know, everyone's like measuring your temperature, like, you know, like everyone's like contributing like on fighting the virus, right? So like, I think that's something really good and impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something to be said about that, man. You know, they're very, very strict.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go anywhere without getting your temperature checked, and you know, it's a hard situation for everyone.
By the way, Mia has been staying here for like a month.
Pardon?
Mia's my daughter, by the way. Yeah, she's like 1 year old.
And she's been
like super happy, but yeah, she hasn't gone on in like a month.
Have you heard, like, in the West, people are talking about like what Chinese people eat and stuff like that? Like, to me, it's almost like more just the lack of knowledge, you know? It's like when the Wuhan thing first came out, everyone in China, like other than people in Wuhan, were making fun of like what people were eating in Wuhan. Because they're like, how could Wuhan people eat this? That's insane.
I think it was started with these like bloggers, or like, it was like two kind of like pretty girls, right? And then they were just like, you know, like shooting a video, and then they're like, you know, off the bat, and then they're just saying like, oh, it's good for your skin or something, and then they were like, it started to like kind of just like cracking the wings and stuff.
And it turned out not even to be in Wuhan, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry, I had to drive and then speak at the same time.
Like they were getting death threats in China. People here were like, but then in the West now, people just think of that and they think of entire China, which is like, I guess it's understandable in a time like this, you know, everyone's just paranoid.
Dude, can you see this person's car beside us? Do you see the little dots? Or, oh, that's a little chickens.
Oh, it's nasty.
Like it's just like shaking its head. Like, oh.
Look at the mall. This is what a mall looks like, right?
These are like closed.
Yeah, look at this. Everything is closed. What does that mean? Look, we can't even get... So you can't even go into the store, hey?
Yeah, you can just only pick up.
How many coffees do you have?
2. Which one you want?
湖北省武汉市中心医院李文亮医生在抗击疫情中感染新型冠状病毒肺炎，经全力救治，不幸逝世。国家卫生健康委表示深切哀悼，为保护人民生命健康做出了重大贡献。我们表示崇高敬意。
The 34-year-old ophthalmologist diagnosed Saturday with the Wuhan coronavirus, dying less than a week later in the same hospital in which he worked.
Earlier today, or I should say, Dr. Li Wenliang, actually passed away. I'm hearing that he was one of the first people that discovered the virus and was known as like the whistleblower. I don't know much about him except doing some quick reading before this. And you know, people are very, very, very emotional online right now. Let's tell you that. And I mean, again, it's crazy how you can just feel a way for someone, you know, who you never met, who I didn't know until like 30 minutes ago, because everyone is posting about him, and I hope that he was able to see how many lives he was able to touch, not just in China but all over the world. You know, it's really hard for me to find the motivation to do things when you're stuck in like a routineless routine, because you're just constantly like a Groundhog Day scenario. You're just waking up over and over again, doing the same things, and it's just like, oh, it's day and it's night, it's day and it's night. And I'm so lucky to be able to have the environment that I have with me. But you know, I know many people aren't as lucky, and you know, it's very, very tough. It's very, very tough. At least my block is free from quarantine, so you know, we have that going for us. But you know, that's all overshadowed by the death of Dr. Li today, and this is a shitty day, man. This is a shitty day.
主播说联播，今天我来说。今年很多人都在缅怀一位医生李文亮，他在新冠肺炎疫情爆发的初期就向外界发出了防护预警，但是自己却在工作当中不幸被感染，最后经过抢救无效去世了。对于李文亮医生的不幸去世，我们表示沉痛的哀悼，也感谢他作为一名医务工作者的敏锐和敬业，感谢他在疫情防控当中做出的努力和贡献。李文亮医生在生前最后工作的日子里面，一如他过往的平凡和勤勉，坚守在抗击疫情的第一线。他在病中还曾经表示过，如果身体能够恢复，还要上一线。我们对他这种敬业奉献的医者仁心表示深深的敬意。